Hey guys, it is Tristan with Nerdette's NewsStand, and I want to talk about a little bit of a development I need to backtrack on. And this is actually something I reported on quite a while ago. Now, since the Snyder Cut has come to fruition and is being released on HBO Max, we have seen a lot of different calls to specifically Warner Brothers for their director's cuts of certain movies. Now, what it looks like to me personally is that Warner Brother is micromanaging, and it's the same thing we had with Dan Didio when it came to DC Comics, so it actually really doesn't surprise me. But they're micromanaging so much, they're ruining a lot of these movies, and it's really unfortunate that a lot of the directors involved are not seeing their actual artistry come to fruition. So we're talking about Zack Snyder. He's the first case of this. We know his vision was ruined. So secondly, there is David Ayer when it comes to Suicide Squad. And basically what he had to say about it was a lot darker. There was a lot more Joker and Harley. She was complex. And they made him change it. And then we got, that cut that looked like a hour and a half trailer. But most recently, we are getting Cathy Yan, and this is where my apology is going to come in. But then, still again, I am not sure who to believe at this point, but I think it's only fair that we look back at me reporting on this and showing you that maybe I was incorrect, and I want the record to be set straight. I don't want to report false news. I don't ever want to do that. I'm usually very clear that things are rumors, but even so, I like to set the record straight. So we have David Ayer tweeting this out, and he says they were reshot because the tone was too dark. My first act was normally constructed film. I took my inspiration from Nolan. There were real scenes with incredible acting between Jared and Margot. Joker was terrifying. Harley was complex. I would honestly have loved to see that. I really wish these directors would let these people act out their true vision, but it doesn't look like Warner Brothers is doing that, and it's really, really unfortunate. So this brings in Cathy Yan, and Cathy Yan, if you do not know, is the director of Suicide Squad. And she said, "I'm so sorry this happened to you, David. I know the pain." Meaning she knows the pain when it comes to her most recent movie, Birds of Prey. Now let's talk about what I reported and what I maybe most likely got wrong. From, the evidence we have now, it looks like I reported something that came from Grace Randolph and was kind of driven down the line of YouTubers or, different blog websites. You've got this covered, stuff like that. So when this movie originally started to, make his way, we got teaser trailers, we got all this, we got the audience, I don't even remember what it's called, the screenings, right? So we got rumor that in the diamond that Cassandra Cain ingest was Roman Sionis dick pics, and most of us were completely 100% against that. Now, this came from Grace Randolph and then her source, whatever that was. So it looks like maybe Grace Randolph wasn't quite telling the truth. And then that is why I'm here, because that affects me, right? That affects how I report. I got, Grace Randolph saying this. And then you have article after article saying this. Me not realizing that every source they used was Grace Randolph. So, Grace Randolph retweets Cathy Yan and says, "I told you guys, massive reshoots, largely to take out dick pic storyline and add more action via Chad Stahelski." Now, there is confirmed reshoots. Most of what was done for the reshoots, from what I read long ago, was the action scene. They brought somebody in from John Wick 3. They did a lot of the action scenes over, but there was, something to do with this diamond, and we just didn't know quite what. I'm surprised Yen would jump on this bandwagon, though. Hashtag Birds of Prey, very was very well reviewed by critics and has a very strong fan base that vehemently defend the film, as is DCEU. Oh my god, she's not even kidding. Some of these people just, you say one bad thing about any in the film and you are the devil incarnate. There's something else. But it was, pretty well received. It was pretty, it was okay. It was okay. We'll just stick with it's okay, because that has nothing to do with what we're talking right now. So Cathy Ann replies to Grace and says, "Excuse me, you have no idea what you're talking about. It's fascinating that you would deem to try when you weren't part of the process whatsoever." Grace, no reporter is ever part of the process. That's very true. They're different jobs. I do think the media, whether it is YouTubers or reporters, journalisms, whatever it is kind of like the fourth estate, right? You got to keep these people honest, or it just doesn't work. So every time I report is common knowledge with many insider, and I brought it to the public. I gave your film a good review, and I said, here you have a strong fan base, so logically there should be no problem here. Cathy Ann. And I thank you for your support. Cathy Ann's so professional here, by the way. But let's set the record straight. There were never dick pics. You peddled a pedophilia rumor is not journalism. Peddling any gossip is not journalism. I know, I was one. I really, kind of respect what Cathy's saying, because she's setting the record straight, and this has been something a long time coming. We never knew. But this is also where I owe my audience an apology. By taking the word of these so-called journalists, starting at the head of the chain, which was Grace Randolph, and kind of going down, I reported the same thing. Even if I specified that it was a rumor, I was wrong. And I want to first and foremost apologize and set the record straight. If this is, not the case and Grace was right, I'd owe her an apology. But at this point, I feel like, it's pretty cut and dry. So Grace does go on to say multiple reporters confirmed that story after, notice that word, after I reported it. Now, when I was doing, research, whether it was bounding into comics or we got this covered, there's plenty of websites, right, that reported this story. They all used Grace Randolph. So after, the story, after she reported it, of course, Grace, of course, they used you as the source. Said that it was great and should be kept in the film and didn't like that it was taken out. The dick pics aren't pedophilia. Right, no, they weren't. And we're going to explain exactly what it was and clear it up. But the fact that Grace, goes, oh my God, in her videos, you can find them. I'm pretty sure they're still up. Well, she may be doing damage control. I'm not sure. Goes, Cassandra Cain, a kid, swallows, a diamond with dick pics. Oh my God, it's really weird. A grown man's dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was making the connections there. That's why people were mad, like myself, and that's why I reported on it. Plus, as a former journalist, you should realize the optics of now pretending you suddenly have a better yan cut. What I want to say in this, and I don't know, I don't mind Grace Randolph. I do feel like the SJW side in her comes out just way too much. But she is acting like an entitled little princess here, and it's not going to stop. It's going to get worse. Now, when I said Cathy Ann was being professional, I mean it. But Grace is going to go on to be rude and demeaning. And she goes, here's a receipt. Honey, what? That's a receipt? You have one person, Daniel Rickman, who's nobody, trying to say that's a receipt. And he says, no, there were never any dick pics. I got to say that too, but there was a naked statue, and it was related more to Roman's character being a valuable art collector, and very well done. Nothing pedo about it, like you tried to claim, and that's exactly what she did. That's exactly, I don't even know who Daniel Rickman is, besides I looked him up, he's some actor, but, if it was just simply a picture of a statue, isn't there like some famous statue where, he's anatomically correct, David or something like that? If that's all it was, And you reported it as this terrible thing when Roman Sionis, don't get me wrong, I don't like the movie, but he was an art collector, right? So it made sense. And you reported it. Grace, you reported it like it was the end of the Birds of Prey, like it would kill the WB franchise. What is wrong with you? Did you want drama for clicks? Because I didn't think you were there, honey. I honestly didn't think that was your game. But ever since Birds of Prey was, kind of teased, she hated it. She hated it. And I think, I'm going to go out on a limb here and just give you my personal opinion. I think it has a lot to do with Margot Robbie. So, she goes on to say, she's answering people, right? And she's just being so rude. Birds of Prey is the only studio film she ever made. It's the only film she's ever made. Grace, stop. Stop. You are looking really, really bad here. Just say, I must have had something wrong. There's nothing wrong with, what is your pride too big? Like, why can't you admit the one time you were wrong? And if, you really got those sources wrong, you could simply say, I may have been wrong, I may have been right. Either way, Cathy Yan says no. And at this point, we have to believe her because she was the director. We don't have to, of course, but taking everything into consideration, it does make sense. You are the only one that's still on this dick pic thing. So, she says my reporting of the dick pic element was Birds of Prey was 100%. She doubles down, right? All the scoopers knew the receipts, from another scooper who literally said, no, you're wrong. It was a statue, but nice try. The film, it was the plot point and is shown to test audience. Cathy Yan, you can try to retweet history all she likes. I don't blame her. Double down, honey, because that's what she kind of does, right? Like, if I could talk. But, then she kind of backpedals a little bit. The storyline was that you could see Roman's dick on the statue in the picture in the diamond. Mind you, she never said this. She never said this once. In all of the time she reported about this just changed 3 hours ago. He was upset it looked too small, so that's why he was fixated on getting it back. How can I believe you, Grace? Like, at this point, you have, and I still like her, ish, but, yeah, I'm not gonna take your word. Like, it's unfortunate. You made me look bad by proxy, right? And I'm not doing that again. That sucks. It really does. So, again, we're seeing, changes in WB, and we're seeing this come from Cathy Yan. At this point, it's simply me saying I reported something wrong. I'm pretty sure it's wrong. And, letting everyone know that I apologize. And, I'm done taking Grace's word on stuff. It's that simple. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about this, about Cathy Yan, or if you believe Grace. Either way, let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey guys, I want to give a huge shout out to my Patreon and subscribe stars. You guys literally make this channel possible. Huge thank you to Cage the Mick, Robert Mick Twiz, Black Knight Fool, Brucey, Chris Z, David L, David Rafford, Jeffrey Allen Carnes, Mighty Balls, Mike Buckner, Maizen Barbosa, Ruskar, Ryan Decker, Robert Hoffman, and Doc Holliday. You guys are absolutely amazing, and thank you so much for all your support. Don't forget on the way out to like as always if you enjoy the content and hit subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.